Welcome to the Ice Age. Yes, it is the Ice Age in this video. As you can see on screen, there's not a proper map in game. The top north of the map is completely covered in ice, so this will cause a lot of problems for wars and make the development not advance that much. There's going to be a lot of problems, as you see, and we might see some places in Africa and India actually do some work. And always, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and down below will be the mod that we are showing off in this video. This is an AI video and we're going to see what the AI does. In this mod, there is going to be a ton of collapses of nations. We can already see a couple nations blew up already, such as England and Poland. We will see a lot of nations rise and fall because of the winters. Yeah, people don't really like it when it's all wintry and we can't eat. There are very unhappy campers. France blew up too. It's going to be quite interesting. We can see pretty much every nation that is in the ice, because the Byzantines are a little bit in the ice, not always, have collapsed. They have not survived the Ice Age. So it's really going to be interesting what happens without Europe, because that means Africa and the Middle East can really expand. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see this border go away. It's practically like every nation independent just in Europe. I'm not sure how this happened. So France went away, but they're back now. We're just not in the right spot. I'm not really sure what's going on with this. I don't know if France is like, yo, let's go south, and that's what's happened. They'll get away from the cold, you know. It's pretty cold here too, but I don't know. France, you do whatever you want. So pretty much every single nation in the north has collapsed. There is no nation really standing. Even the Byzantines had a mini collapse. It's going to be interesting to see what will happen with this territory. Will it stay independent until the end of the game, or will someone from the south come up and take the territory? Because I think it's just going to be hard to keep this land with all the icy weather and the negative effects of it. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, and that's really why I wanted to make this video, because with a player you just take it, but I really want to see as the AI do with all this ice. We have the Persian Empire here, which I think could really take advantage of the situation starting with the Fatimid. Usually they struggle with the Byzantines, but the Byzantines aren't really going to be a threat here. I think they're really collapsing here. In Europe, we have two nations that are already standing out, which is Piedmonte. They're looking pretty good, and so is Angaria. Those two nations are already getting some land. I don't know if they're going to keep that. I think the development the development is awful. That's right. Yeah, so another reason why all this is bad up here is because if you look at the development, yeah, everything in the north is like 0. So really, do any of these people really want the land up there? No, they don't. But you know, land means cooler borders, and cooler borders mean you win the game. That's I don't make the rules. It's cooler borders, bigger borders, better game. I have figured out how France got here. So there's a special thing where they want to migrate these nations up here because no one wants to live up here. They want to migrate out of here because it's bull, and it is really, really bad, and it's really, really nasty. So they get a whole bunch of special troops. As you can see, they have 300,000 special troops, and they migrate down south. So we should see a whole bunch of these nations that are struggling up here migrate down south and end up in Africa, India, all these places, because they don't want to be in this cold, barren wasteland anymore. Oh, I clicked on the religion map mode. Oh my goodness, it is so disgusting, the religion map mode is. I didn't know it could get this bad. Usually I see it bad in Africa, but this also shows that we already have people from Europe going down here. These are not African nations anymore. These are people from Europe, the Catholic Norwegians and stuff like that. They're all over the place. I just wasn't paying attention. But we also got plenty of stuff up here that is just an absolute mess. But yeah, people are already coming down, and it's going to be interesting to see who ends up on top and what our culture and religion ends up, because like we got Norwegian and stuff all over the place that shouldn't be here. Yeah, this is just a cesspool. Oh my goodness, this is just disgusting. I don't think we're going to see much of the Persian Empire. They have 6 rebellions going on right now. So the Persian Empire is about to implode, which is not good because then there's not too many nations left alive. And I'm really worried about all these Catholics really ruining Africa. I kind of forgot about that feature in this mod. So really, Africa might not do well. The Catholics are already invading, and they might take it all over. Pretty European thing to do. At first, I was like, why are the Byzantines and the Persian Empire collapsing? And then I realized they're getting a lot of wars from people up north. Like, a lot of people are taking this land away from them. As you can see, there's a lot of religions and cultures that are not supposed to be here. And since Africa's further away, a lot of people are just going after the Byzantines, Iberia, and the Middle East because it's closer. I don't think there's too much religion. There's not too much going on in India yet. I don't see any Catholic or religions that really aren't here too much. But really in the Middle East, Byzantines and... Oh, that's very interesting. We just had a nation, I think, that came here that... Yeah, we have some nations here that are super far away. They're far in the north and they've gotten all the way to Africa. This is the first nation in India that I found that is not where it should be. They have an Admite person in charge. So there's somehow the Admite religion got over here, which is usually all the way up in like the British Isles. So it's pretty cool to see it all the way down here in India. I don't really know how it got here, but it's cool to see. It's really interesting to see all these religions and cultures that shouldn't be in the areas all over the place. I think this is just benefiting Fat Mid because they're able to go to war with a lot of these nations. Usually it's because they have the same religion and culture. They're not able to expand, but since it's Catholic, they're able to do these amazing holy wars and take up a lot of land. I've been like looking around. They've been declaring like kingdom holy wars and duchy holy, and they collapse in front of my eyes. You know what, Fat Mid? I'm just going to not say anything and watch you explode right in front of my eyes. This always happens. I try to say something nice about a nation and then they blow up right in front of me. Thank you, Fat Mid, for proving that I'm an idiot. Hey, at least we have Egypt still. I'm glad right when I talked about them, they blew up. Nubia is a genius. Instead of like hating the people invading, they adopted the culture and they are the Swedo-Nubian culture. They adopted Sweden. You know, they're so smart. Or Swedo is not Sweden. No, it is. It's North Germanic. Yes, it's Sweden. I knew that. They adopted it, and they will expand because they are Sweden and Nubian, which is genius. You know, adopt the comers. Don't hate them. This was not what I was expecting from the Mongols. Yeah, they just went straight into India. Yeah, they just were like, oh, this land too cold? Not India first, we guess. I didn't know that was what was going to happen. Pretty cool to see. Really bad for India, because this really means that the only place that won't be touched by complete collapse is Africa, because after you get invaded, once you get your independence, it's very messy too. So really, Africa is the only safe space in the world. Really, yeah. Hopefully the Mongols don't get into Africa, because then I'm just gonna have a headache from all the independent nations. This is the scariest Mongols I've ever seen. They have almost all of Asia, like just all of it, not even like kind of all of it. Oh. Well, maybe they're blowing up right now. But yeah, this Mongols was insane because they had no resistance. All these little nations up here have like 5 troops, so they just ate up land so quickly. I think they're on the brink of collapse right now, but it was an impressive Mongols. It was really cool to see them just start up in the north and then take over India. But it was good while it lasted. They're collapsing right before our eyes. As you can see, everything is getting independent at the same time. There's a chance they stay around for a little bit longer, but when they collapse like this, it's usually at the end. And it's kind of cool to see it in real time. Yeah, we can see the Mongols die in real time. It's great, you know, it's kind of pretty seeing them collapse. Some of these nations in the Iceland are actually doing pretty good. Ruthenia, not one of them, only 266 troops. But Hungary has 4,000. They just actually lost their leader. I should have paused. But some of the other ones are doing pretty good. Alice, you know, it's not looking too bad. They got 6,000, 4,000, 7,000. Not too bad. France is cheating because they have land in Iberia. And I think it's because there are a couple places that now have a development higher than 1, so they're actually like usable land. Out in Russia, no, it's not, because it's 0. But down in like Central Europe, it's like 1 and 2. When it's 0, you get almost absolutely nothing from the territory. So Poland, Ruthenia, and some of these other nations up here, yeah, they're struggling out here. But you know, maybe someone will come along and conquer them because they need to be taken out. So we're approaching the last 100 years, and I see the people we really need to worry about is the Byzantines, Nubia, Kong, and then this nation here. They're all really powerful, and France. Don't forget about France. They're all really powerful. They have a lot of territory. The Byzantines, France, they have a lot of territory that's not valuable, but Nubia and Kong, they have pretty much the best territory in the game, which is very ironic because usually Africa has some of the worst territory, but if you even look at the development map mode, this is way better down here than up here. But you know, France also has some good territory, same with the Byzantines, because Iberia and you know, the Anatolia didn't really get affected that much. We're at the end date, and it's clear to see that there's only two people that really won this. France, who has so much territory, they actually lost some recently, and Ruthenia. Look at Ruthenia, is so dang thick while having 195 troops. Do you see how much territory they conquered with 195 troops? That is an accomplishment. There was like 5 people smacking each other with sticks out here in the winter, and they conquered so much land. I appreciate it. But if we're being for real, there's a whole bunch of different nations down here that we usually don't see, or we usually don't pay attention to, because usually stuff is happening up here. But in this video, all this stuff is barren wasteland that doesn't have anything going on. So, as you can see, we have some nations, well, France down here, everyone else is usually here, but the thing is, their religion, they're Catholic down here, and Coptic's normal, but Catholic, Orthodox, some other religions scattered around here that usually aren't here. Culture-wise, we have some cultures that shouldn't be here. I don't know why they're doing, or Estonia right here is the one that's doing out. Welsh is down here. There was this Nubian who's Swedish and Nubian. It's pretty cool to see all this. If you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want me to turn this into a time-lapse video, comment down below, because I haven't made a time-lapse in a while, and I think this might be an interesting time-lapse to see, especially in the later dates. So see you later. Enjoy a video on the screen now. Have a good one, and bye.